We finna react to King Von's most disrespectful moments. You feel me? Y'all know King Von's a pretty disrespectful motherfucker. So motherfuckers made a list on his most disrespectful moments. So let's see what disrespectful shit that boy King Von did. You feel me? Shout out to motherfucking Rap Daily. I don't got profession to do this video, so we got to put the little filter over it, like the video, and we finna get into it, man. See what the fuck going on.
King Von was in and out of jail for most of his life. So when he was arrested by the police, we see a master at work trying to manipulate them. And there has been leaked footage of him saying some of the most insane things ever. 2016 jail arrest. The first piece of footage we have on King Von takes us back to 2016, long before King Von even started rapping. In an interview with Eyes, Von explained how he spent many important moments of his early life in jail.
I got in trouble early, 15 years old. That's so I ain't never been grown until like right now, because I've been in jail. All the times where it really counted, like, you know, like I ain't graduate high school and all that other shit. So when it was time for me to step up, I was already in jail.
15 was when he first got caught by the police. But when pressed about when he started crime, he said,
I don't know. I just woke up one day, I was bad as hell. I don't know what the
King Von was largely a product of his own environment and grew up in the infamous O Block, one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in Chicago. It was through growing up here that he became involved with the Chicago gang, the Black Disciples, or BDs. You might also know this was also the place where other rappers such as Chief Keef, Lil Reese, and Fredo Santana grew up too. For Von, it was his friendship with Lil Durk, who was not from the Lil Reese or BD. It was through growing up here that he became infamous O Block, one of the most dangerous neighborhoods in Chicago. It was through growing up here that he became involved with the Chicago gang, the Black Disciples, or BDs. You might also know this was also the place where other rappers such as Chief Keef, Lil Reese, and Fredo Santana grew up too.
No, his ass wrong. On phone, motherfuckers begin to confuse and think everybody from O Block. Lil Reese not from O Block. Fredo Santana is not from O Block. The only one that I actually think is from O Block that he said is Chief Keef on gang. All them niggas just cool.
For Von, it was his friendship with Lil Durk, who was not from the O Block, but affiliated with people from the neighborhood, who would later mentor him into becoming the rap star that he.
How he get that shit right, but he couldn't get the other motherfuckers right?
Became. Von, whose real name was Davon Daquan Bennett, was dubbed King Von because he reminded the BDs of King David, the founder of the BDs. In an interview, Von said, when I was in jail, I got the name grandson because I reminded people of King David. The older guys in jail, guys who were around when David was around, would call me that because I carried myself like him. King David was a legendary figure and a guy everybody looked up to. He ran the streets with his own morals and his own code, and that's the code I live by too. That's why people call me grandson. One of his earliest crimes was armed robbery, and a lot of the charges that were hit against him as a minor were dropped because of his age, and that he would learn his lesson by attending a boot camp. In 2012, King Von turned 18 and was no longer a minor, but clearly he was still embroiled in street life, so much so that one affiliate, Tay Capone, said that shootings were just part of his life.
In 2012, everybody couldn't hang with Von. Like, if you was hanging with Von, you had to accept everything that came with Von. You had to accept that you was going to be in shootings, accept that it was going to be that, and you had to be with it.
Fast forward to 2016, and Von was in jail, where he was believed to have been jailed in connection with the fatal shooting of Malcolm Stuckey. And even behind bars, he was still a dangerous man to mess with. This CCTV
if y'all don't know that Michael Stuckey situation, that's the shit that Big Mike was on. Big Mike was on that hit with him, supposedly, and that's the thing where he was talking about Big Mike supposedly told on him. And it was over that situation, just a little fact check, you feel me?
Footage showed Von and another inmate attacking someone. And this is when a correctional officer is standing right in front of them. Von and the other inmate began punching him several times. Thankfully, the fight was broken up before things got too ugly, and Von was put back in handcuffs. Von then does an interview with a prison officer afterward.
Can you tell me what happened?
I got maced.
Why'd you get maced?
Oh, his ass funny as hell with it. His ass hit him with the I got maced. Chief, why you get maced? Motherfucker, he know why you got maced. His ass he was fighting in that motherfucker and they maced his ass on game.
In the hallway.
Get the corner. Who maced this? I don't know. Somebody maced.
They just next to you for no reason.
As I'll show you later on in this video, Von will have the same mindset wherever he is being interviewed or questioned by police. CCTV footage shows him running over to attack someone, yet he hasn't the faintest idea why he was maced. It's not clear who Von and the other guy were in a fight, but Von has...
Bro, he talking about he don't got a clear... Obviously, Von ass being sarcastic, gang. His ass know exactly why he was being maced. His ass just trying to be funny and shit and fuck around.
Revealed in his music how common these fights can be. In the song How It Go, he raps, "Now you locked in a room, you just plotting while you doing push-ups. You better check on your bro, cause the nigga on the news came in, said he heard he got smoked." As you'll see later on, Von will always infer that the police are treating him too harshly and will always have some tricks up his sleeve. 2017 jail arrest. The next piece of footage comes from a year later in 2017, and it's clear that King Von was not looking to get out of prison for good behavior. In fact, he was involved in yet another fight. This insane CCTV footage shows Von getting up to his old tricks again. At first, he walks over to another inmate.
Yeah, that video went viral as hell. Folks has been over fighting motherfuckers and shit. Like, how the fuck his ass do this Houdini ass shit? Look, his ass finna break out.
And says something to him. Von then walks back to where he was and moves towards another inmate. He starts confronting this person who is now hiding behind another person. Eventually, Von starts throwing punches.
Damn.
This guy is now on the ground, but Von is still going at him.
And then that nigga got cuffs on too. So he literally just gotta take the ass beating. That's the fucked up part. Von ass got them cuffs off. He got his cuffs on still, so he just taking that beating.
One of the other inmates are helping to break this off, and there is not much that they can do since they are all still in cuffs. King Von has somehow managed to pull off some Houdini trick and rid himself of his cuffs. One inmate, however, seems to be trying to kick the door open to help the guards. The COs catch wind of what's happening and Von is arrested. As well as the CCTV, there is also body cam footage of an officer who arrived on the scene.
Good? Okay, get him, take him down there then. Take him this way, take him this way, take him this way.
Von is asked what happened, and just like before, he's not going to admit to punching a guy several times.
What happened, man?
Shit, I mean, what's the point? What's the point telling them that you did? What would be the real point? Let's be real. What benefits will he really get out of admitting that he did the shit? Nothing. Ain't gonna get nothing.
Just now?
Von is then asked how he got out of his cuffs.
How'd you get out of your cuffs? How'd you get out of your cuffs? How'd you get out of your cuffs?
Bro, and then 12 be asking some slow ass shit, bro. Why would he tell you how he got out of the cuffs? If he tells y'all how he got out of the cuffs, then he won't be able to do it again. That's his secret technique, nigga. Why the fuck would he give up his secret technique? Come on, bro.
You thought you were still in them? Are you double jointed?
In this interview, he remains incredibly tight-lipped and refuses to say anything.
Detainee Bennett, Davon, ID number 2014-0608061. Also involved in the battery and Division 9 holding. Leonard Bennett, can your own words explain what happened? You refusing to give a statement? That's my statement right there.
Getting information from Von was like trying to get blood from a stone.
Mr. Bennett stating that he did not do anything. Anything else you want to add? You have any injuries? This was in my interview with Detainee Bennett, Davon.
The person Von punched was allegedly a guy named 051 Freaky and a member of a rival gang in Chicago. The attack apparently stems from the victim having a tattoo, which read Capone, who was a close friend of Von's. He even did a rape.
Oh, damn. I mean, yeah, that's a valid reason right there to beat someone ass for sure. You come up in jail, you up in the county and shit, and you see one of the ops or shit, don't gotta be a nigga saying F your homie that passed away. Yeah, you damn nigga want to beat the socks off that boy.
Radio interview from prison and was asked if the tattoo was the source of tension between the two. He said,
Yeah, everybody know that. Oh, we know that.
To put this into context, here is the tattoo that Von had in memory of L.A. Capone. The L.A. does not stand for Los Angeles, but Leonard Anderson so, which was his actual game. Capone is in reference to the notorious Chicago gangster Al Capone. L.A. was a budding rapper and on the verge of being signed to Lil Durk's label OTF, but he was killed by members of 051 Young Money in September 2013. He was
051, 051. I mean, it's still 051, I guess, but 051, that's what
also close friends with Lil Yachty, so who knows where his career could have gone. It's alleged that LA was targeted because he was falsely claiming the death of 051 member Fats. So for 051 Freaky to have a tattoo insulting a recently deceased friend, you can perhaps understand the anger he felt. There is even footage of Freaky after the incident. He seems okay, but is obviously annoyed that he was beaten by a guy without cuffs.
I'm saying though, Von, why I'm cuffed up?
When questioned by the police, he was a lot more reserved.
Mr. Howard, in all words, explain what happened.
During this time, Von never mentioned that he wanted to become a rapper. Another 051 member, Kiddo said.
Did he ever mention that he would blow up in rap? Did he ever tell you he was going to try to do the rap thing?
Hell no, man. I don't know rapper, man. Hell no, bro. That surprised about me.
Everybody say that shit. I ain't gonna cap to you, bro. I guess Von was really just one of them real street niggas, bro, that everybody thought that just was gonna be a street nigga all his life. Ain't nothing but the streets. Only thing he gonna have is the streets, and all he will ever be is the streets. You feel me? Because every time when I see an interview and everybody asks, do you think Von was gonna be a rapper? They say, hell no.
While these videos make Von look out to be quite a tough guy, the next video paints him in a less flattering light and is doing something which is arguably against the prison code. Others see it as a clever way of finessing the system, but this is probably the video that King Von and his crew don't want you to see. 2017 gay arrest. In November 2017, we see an incredibly fascinating interview. Von is about to be sent to a new dorm, but this dorm contains a number of his ops. He feels like he will be in danger by moving to that cell, so is put in an extremely difficult situation. There are seemingly two options here. The first option is that Von can tell the police that he is afraid of these cellmates and does not want to live with them. This could be deemed as snitching and could end up making things much worse.
Man, nah. I ain't gonna cap to you, bro. Niggas say that shit, they damn near ain't gonna send your ass for real. I ain't gonna cap to you. You gotta understand. The CEOs be fucked up in that motherfucker too. Like, they'll want to see your ass, get your ass beat and shit on gang. Like, if they don't fuck with you, they will put you up in there with your ops and shit, bro. Like, you gotta have a real valid reason. Cause you gotta think about it, bro. Lots of motherfuckers is in tour with lots of motherfuckers up in there, bro. So you gotta have a valid reason. Then, oh, you on tour with these motherfuckers. Because if you being in tour with the motherfuckers is the reason why you can't be in certain spots, your ass might as well just be in maximum security because you're gonna be in tour with at least one person.
For them. The second option is to live inside the same room as people who want him killed and basically take whatever was coming to him. But believe it or not, there is a third option.
You gotta understand. You gotta understand with the jail shit, bro. First of all, bro, when you get locked up, I believe, like, you know, when you gay, they try to keep you separated from the straight motherfuckers. Because when I get locked up, I got locked up before in Cook County. I believe he in Cook County. He got the same doc uniform that I had to wear, the ugly ass brown doc uniform. You feel me? But when I was going through processing and shit, they ask you if you gay or straight. I looked at him like, bro, why the fuck this nigga asking me if I'm gay or straight? But he be like, bro, we gotta ask everybody this, you feel me? So, you know, it's kind of like a problem with the gays and the straights, and they don't want it to be no hate crimes up in that motherfucker. So they more likely to move you if you gay than you just saying you got ops and shit, you feel me? Because that's why they ask you if you gay or straight, you feel me, before you go into processing and before they put you inside division. Luckily for me, I got arrested during COVID, so, you know, I was put into a division with everybody who got arrested the same time as me. And then once we got out of quarantine, we all went to the division with the population of everybody else who've been up in there. But, you know, I ended up bonding out before I even got to that point.
This was not Von coming out of the closet. It was his attempt to pretend to be gay to protect himself. This does two things. Firstly, it allows Von to escape living with his ops. But secondly, he does not snitch on them or admit to being part of a gang. He is gay, and the people inside the dorm are devout Christians. The police probably know that he is lying, but being gay is a protected characteristic in prison, and there's nothing they can do about it. But he at least plays up to this character.
His ass trolling like a motherfucker. I ain't gonna cap to you. His ass trolling. But shit, you could tell how a motherfucker trolling, bro. Like, motherfuckers be knowing. Like, you could tell when a nigga, like what Lil J was doing, Lil J is dead serious. Like, Von ass, you could tell folks ass playing.
It's unclear whether the ops he was hiding from were directly related to fights mentioned before. Ken Von is seen shouting, "Bye Lil Josh," which could be referring to Lil Josh from the LA phase. Needless to say, Von made himself a lot of enemies in prison. While the police know he is lying, he is probably doing the police a favor by lying about this, because separating Von from these other people will avoid any violent incidents. Von was finessing the system, but it probably suited everyone that he did not end up in that dorm. This footage caused a lot of controversy. Wack 100 was particularly outspoken and says that the rules are that when you are in prison, you never ask for protective custody, even if it could save your life. Wack was a previous member of the Bloods. And
shit, I ain't gonna cap to you, bro. So you telling me you would die? You would die over what? Over some goof ass code? Listen, if I'm the only motherfucker up in there, and I know all my ops up in there, I'm going to protective custody, bro. I'm not finna. It's a difference between being a bitch and being smart. Lots of y'all niggas confuse being smart with being a bitch. And that be the problem with these dumbass rappers and shit. Talking about, oh, you should never go into protective custody. If all my ops up in there and I don't got nobody with me, I'm going to PC. Fuck is your problem?
Spent time in prison. During his stint behind bars, there was a code you had to follow, and it was never an option for someone to ask to go into protective custody or PC.
PC means peace.
And Wack 100, your ass is old as hell, gang. It's different. It's different, bro. Back when you probably was doing your shit, bro, GDs and BDs was BGD. They probably was together. Larry Hoover was out of jail and shit. David Barksdale was still alive and shit. When Wack 100 was out here, bro, shit changed on game. His ass over here trying to talk about this old ass shit.
PC. You do not go PC.
Okay, remove the PC thing.
There's no removing
it. But say Von had just said, "I'm gay, I can't be in that dorm."
I'm not playing like that either.
Dorm.
For Wack 100, he should not have gotten into this situation if he did not want to suffer the consequences.
What if he knew he would be dead in 5 minutes if he went in there?
Listen, man, he knew the job was dangerous when he took it. Don't be doing nothing on the
folks sound dumb as hell, bro. Stupid. So you telling me this nigga slow.
Street, you ain't ready to face where you got to go behind them bars.
Wack 100 gives the example of how Muslims will not eat pork under any circumstances. It's a principle that they stick to no matter what.
That's the difference. That's a motherfucking difference. I bet you a motherfucker tell you shit. Motherfucker tell them Muslim motherfuckers behind the scenes, nigga, I'm gonna send you in there with all your ops if you don't eat no motherfucking pork. Shit, that shit, they might eat that pork on game. Pork might not sound that bad in those situations. You never know what a motherfucker do when their life is on the line.
It's like a Muslim hungry and it's a pepperoni pizza right there. He can't eat that under any circumstances.
But many people have come back in Von's defense. No Limit Cairo wrote that King Von is obviously not gay, said, "Y'all know my boy trolling to get put on another deck stop, that capping." THF Zoo, who is on the OTF label, also wrote, "I don't see this part of the video on the blogs, though. Y'all try so hard to tarnish bro's name, knowing he is one of the realest. If you've been in that county, you know you can't move nowhere once you on the decks unless you're half dead or requesting PC. Von never landed in the PC the whole stay, and I witnessed it. Even a rival gang member from 051 just saw it as funny."
I'm like, he's funny as hell. But
you thought he was trolling?
Yeah, he was trolling for sure. He was trolling for sure.
Yeah. You see, any motherfucker know that his ass was trolling. You only gotta be from the hood. I mean, maybe if these motherfuckers not from Chicago and shit, they can't tell. But off bat, I could tell folks' ass was just, fucking around and shit, He wasn't really gay.
That's how motherfuckers get moved. They want to go. Like, he feel like him know how the county go. So he know how to get to the next place he want to get to.
He goes on to say that you can't simply ask to keep separate from certain inmates, and they decide where you're going. So for Von, this was the only...
I just said that shit. Well, he didn't listen to it. He can't hear what the fuck I'm saying. All right.
way of staying away from that dorm. And the next piece of footage is a bit more interesting. Vaughn is another year older, and this time out of prison. 2018 O-Block arrest. By February 2018, Vaughn was a free man, but clearly he was still up to his old tricks. The footage begins inside a police car. The police officer gets out of the car and walks towards the scene. Eventually, we see a man in handcuffs who has the same wavy dreadlocks we know to be belonging to King Von. Curiously, there is snow on the floor, yet this person is wearing a t-shirt. The officer who has him cuffed says,
on video, they went back, went under the cars where we think he.
Yo, those look like normal dreads. They don't look like wavy dreads.
Battery fight with that. Vehicle takes off on us, and we got this, and then we get about 50 people. So,
if you were in any doubt that it's King Von in this video, we finally get to hear him speak.
You're gonna go to jail for battering to a police officer. Me?
While this is happening, one of Von's friends is filming everything in case the police try to get out of line.
Thank you very much. We'll take it then.
King Von then starts joking with the officer. Apparently it is Valentine's Day and he needs to get home.
I'll go home. It's Valentine's Day. You got the plate number since you got it on tape, man? Oh, you don't have that. Okay.
King Von is incredibly calm and composed despite being arrested by the police. And his jokes about...
I mean, shit, if you got how many mugshots Von got, shit, I mean, you'll get comfortable with it too after a while, bro. Von is a vet with getting arrested, folks. On game, like shit. But I feel like I ain't gonna cap to you. It's kind of easy to be calm. I was trying to get my body cam footage to react to it. If anybody know how to get to my body cam arrest footage, get it for me. I want to react to it. I got my audio, the dispatch call for you feel me. I was able to get that shit. They're not trying to send the body cam footage. I know why they're not trying to give out the body cam footage because you know they did some things they wasn't supposed to do. But police always do things they're not supposed to do. But I got the dispatch call and shit, and I found out the reason why we even got pulled over in the first place. They thought we was a part of an armed robbery or some shit, you know. But sadly, when they pulled us over, we had guns. So, you know, even though we wasn't the people that did the robbery, we were still black niggas in the hood of Chicago riding around with guns. Jail.
Valentine's Day gave the impression that this guy was relatively harmless. But the police officers had to completely reassess the situation with his response to this question.
What would you like up for? Body too. I'm sorry. You're gonna want to cuff him in the back. Yes. He's all kinds of fun.
Officers were stunned. He just casually said that he was in jail for a murder and 2 attempted murders. The police officer tries to help him and lets him know that he's being filmed. They are almost dumbfounded by his behavior and how he would just blurt that out in front of the 2 officers.
You're on video right now, man. It's cool.
When Von is told that he is under arrest, he simply says, "No, I'm not."
No, I'm not under arrest.
Yes, you are.
For what?
I ain't gonna cap to you. I wasn't talking shit at first. Like I didn't start talking shit to the police till they put me inside the back of that squad car. Once they put me in the back, I'm like, oh yeah, this shit over with, but I'm finna talk my shit. Cause I was really being cool on gang. I was just like, you feel me? Shit, it is what it is, folks. It ain't what it ain't. But then when I got in that hard ass back seat, I realized, like, nigga, you finna go to the county, nigga, and they on some bullshit. They didn't even have no reason to pull you over. So I got to tweaking.
Probably trespass over here and hitting the guy.
Then we realized that King Von initially did have a coat on.
Where's your coat?
He asked him, man. The super cop.
Where's his coat?
Talk about super
By
cop.
now, the cops are pretty much fed up with King Von's antics. They even let his cheeky comment about asking the super cop slide. Von was later released and said that the police had it out for him because he managed to beat these charges. 2018 was actually quite a fruitful year for King Von. He was inspired by the success of Lil Durk and decided to follow in his footsteps as a rapper. He signed to Durk's OTF label and released his first single, Crazy Story, towards the end of the year. And King Von was surprisingly talented at music. He had been rapping for a short space of time and suddenly blew up. He stood out from other drill rappers through his storytelling, where his songs told a full story, much like old.
I ain't gonna cap. Von ass was raw as hell, but you gotta understand too, for his ass had motherfucking Lil Durk. Lil Durk, and it's just so much history behind where he from that made it so much easier. Cause you know, lots of rappers, they gotta build up their shit, bro. They gotta build up their name while building up their block name in the industry. Like they shit's only be known in Chicago, bro. outside of Chicago, lots of niggas don't be knowing about these other nigga hood. Like all them niggas from 051. Shit, niggas don't be knowing about THF. None of the shit. Motherfuckers barely know about No Limit in them. The niggas only talk about O Block, O Block, O Block, O Block. So, you know, you from O Block, you gonna have it easier, bro.
Cool rappers like Slick Rick, Scarface, and Biggie Smalls. But as his talent started to get noticed, King Von did not know how to hold his tongue. And even as his rap career progressed, he was still saying stuff that could incriminate him. Lil Durk brought King Von onto the Breakfast Club and had to cough to tell him to keep his mouth shut.
When you get to that line, have you ever been convicted of?
You dead start making.
Have you ever no experiences doing nothing? I ain't.
Word.
He looked at his ass like, damn, oh, I said too much. Okay. Shit.
For the first time in his life, there was a pathway that could lead him away from the street life he led. But clearly, King Von either could not or chose not to forego this life. 2019 Atlanta attempted murder arrest. During the early hours of the morning on February 5th, 2019, King Von, Lil Durk, and Bezu were involved in an argument outside of a popular restaurant in Atlanta known as The Varsity. They were arguing with a man named Alexander Weatherspoon, who was a member of the Vice Lords gang. Soon the verbal disagreement escalated, and a total of 13 shots were fired. Weatherspoon was witnessed to have collapsed in front of the One Cigar Lounge by other people during the night. 3 months later, King Von was scheduled to perform a concert in Chicago, but instead, this gig was canceled. The police knew that King Von would be paying a trip back to his old neighborhood, and the O Block was raided by a huge swarm of police officers. Footage emerged of him being tackled down, and his friends claiming that the police were trying to steal his chain. The cops were even carrying assault rifles to keep the crowd at bay.
Man, they got that big ass, heavy duty ass AR. They don't even need that shit. What the police need all that shit for? They're like, shit, these niggas got switches to ARPs. Fuck you mean?
Don't resist. Don't resist.
The police seemed to have taken hold of his chain. Von is then taken to the station. The police officer points out that he has been disrespectful.
Stop it. Dust his ass off. You see, they had to be so fucking petty up there. Like, I be hating them fucking dickheads, bro. I ain't gonna cap to you, bro. They had some fucking dickheads up in there, bro. The police. I ain't gonna cap to you. Really? The police station. The police station where, like, the COs was on some dickhead shit. Well, it was some COs that was cool too on gang. But it's like the station, that's where I really hated them fucking police. Like, them police at that station, bro, they some fucking dickheads, bro. Like, up in that bitch, bro, they ass was petty as hell, bro. Like, they really was petty as hell in that bitch, bro. I ain't gonna flash to you. I hate their ass.
We got your chain, big bro.
But then they had the
Von
nurse
is then asked if he was carrying anything that might get him into trouble.
Bitch, I ain't coming back.
Von then jokes that he is not used to being tackled, and he is too much of a grown man to be treated like this. Then the police mentioned the canceled concert. In fact, they even argue that Von canceled it. Von is then asked if he has any weed. Then Von starts joking with the police.
Oh, yeah, damn. That was before weed was legal. Because I ain't going to cap to you. Weed just became legal in 2020. Well, basically 4 years ago now. But when he got arrested for, wait, was weed legal? No, he said that was 2019. Yeah, hell no. Weed wasn't even legal then. So his ass would have most definitely got in charge for that weed too. Because their ass was most definitely illegal with the weed back then when his ass got locked up. His ass would have had a whole nother charge.
He mentioned how much his hoodie costs and can then be seen cracking jokes with the person who tackled him.
I seen you. I have to get you out the way quickly.
He said, I had to. You didn't have to do that shit.
But they did explain why they took his chain. They simply thought that if they did not take it, someone else would have.
At the same time, though, when you get into custody, people that be your mans want to, especially if you drop some on the ground, you might never see it again. They're your boy.
I ain't gonna cap to you. On gang, they is right on that. The one thing I can say, they probably was taking it to be on some petty shit still, but they do got a point. Like, if he probably wouldn't have got that shit back if the wrong motherfucker took that shit, because they would have picked that bitch up, and it wouldn't have been shit. He wouldn't have said shit or nothing. You just would have known that bitch was gone, and they don't know who got that motherfucker.
After his arrest, Lil Durk also turned himself in. Soon afterward, Durk managed to get himself out on a $250,000 bond, whereas King Von had to cough up $300,000 for his release. Von was on house arrest for this supposed shooting, and a year later, something happened which meant that Von would never have to face these charges.
According to GBI, rapper King Von and his group were at Opium nightclub.
That's kind of bogus talking about he did some shit where he had never had to fake those charges. You talking about the nigga dying? That shit bogus.
Before making their way here to Monaco Hookah Lounge, then to the parking lot where chaos ensued.
It was yet another altercation that Von was involved in.
6 men shot, King Von and 2 others dead, 3 injured, and being treated at the hospital.
And
damn, that shit was fucked up, man. Von ass was really, his ass was one of the most influential niggas coming out of Chicago of the 2020. You can't say the most influential nigga from O-Block, because everybody know who that is. That's Keith. Chief Keef. My folks know. But y'all already know, man. Shout out to Rap Daily. Link to the original video will be inside the description. We finna do one more video, man, because I ain't gonna cap to you. We finna be on 5 hours of streaming, gang. And I still got other shit I need to do. Like, that's what I'm saying.